What is Christmas? Christmas was traditionally a Christian festival celebrating the birth of Jesus, but in the early 20th century, it also became a secular family holiday, observed by Christians and non-Christians alike. The secular holiday is often devoid of Christian elements, with the mythical figure Santa Claus playing the pivotal role. When is Christmas celebrated? Christmas is celebrated by many Christians on December 25th in the Gregorian calendar. For Eastern Orthodox churches that continue to use the Julian calendar for liturgical observances, this date corresponds to January 7th on the Gregorian calendar. Gifts are exchanged on Christmas Eve in most European countries and on Christmas morning in North America. How is Christmas celebrated? Christians and non-Christians partake in some of the most popular Christmas traditions, many of which have no origins in liturgical affirmations. These customs include decorating evergreen trees, or, in India, mango or bamboo trees, feasting, picnics and fireworks are popular in warm climates, and exchanging gifts on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. Does Christmas have pagan roots? In polytheistic Rome, December 25th was a celebration of the unconquered sun, marking the return of longer days. It followed Saturnalia, a festival where people feasted and exchanged gifts. The Church in Rome began celebrating Christmas on December 25th during the reign of Constantine, the first Christian emperor, possibly to weaken pagan traditions. Did Christmas start in Germany? The celebration of Christmas started in Rome about 336, but it did not become a major Christian festival until the 9th century. Many Christmas traditions, such as decorating trees, started in Germany and later spread to other parts of the world, notably England and the United States. Facts about Christmas. 1. Christmas is a Christian festival that celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ, who Christians believe was the Son of God. For most people, it takes place every year on December 25th, the day that the Roman Catholic Church chose to mark Jesus' birthday. But, in fact, no one actually knows the exact date Jesus was born. 2. Did you know that not all Christians celebrate Christmas on the same day? In countries with large populations of Orthodox Christians such as Russia, the Ukraine and Romania, Christmas Day falls on January 7th. Some Greek Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas on January 7th, too. 3. The name, Christmas, comes from the Old English phrase Christ's Messe, which means Christ's Mass. But what about Christmas? Lots of people think this is just a modern-day abbreviation, but it actually dates back to the 16th century. The X is said to represent the Greek letter Chi, the first letter in the Greek word for Christ, Kairoiota sigmatau, pronounced Christos. 4. Come Christmas, people around the world enjoy all kinds of jolly good fun. Many of the festive traditions we have in the UK today came about in the Victorian era, such as Christmas cards, gift-giving and crackers, as well as traditional foods like mince pies and roast turkey. Queen Victoria and her husband Prince Albert were huge fans of Christmas, in fact. 5. Christmas trees also became popular in Victorian Britain. But these were first seen in 16th century Germany where, at Christmas time, people decorated fir trees with fruit and nuts, and later sweets, paper shapes and candles. Amazingly, historians think the origins of this festive tradition may date back to the Romans and ancient Egyptians, who used evergreen plants and garlands as symbols of everlasting life. Wow! 6. Check this out, every year, Norway sends a beautiful homegrown Christmas tree to London, where it is decorated with lights in Trafalgar Square. Standing a towering 20 m tall, the terrific tree is a gift to say thank you for the help the UK gave Norway during World War II. What a tremendous gift! 7. We can't talk about Christmas without a mention to the big-bearded, rosy-cheeked jolly man, Father Christmas. But have you wondered how he got the name Santa Claus? It's from Sinterklaas, which means Saint Nicholas in Dutch, the language of the Netherlands. Saint Nicholas was a Christian bishop who lived in the 4th century. Known for being kind and generous, he later became the patron saint of children. 8. But Santa isn't the only Christmas character. There are many more around the world. In Italy, for example, a kind witch called La Befana is said to fly around on a broomstick delivering toys to children. And in Iceland, children leave shoes under the window for 13 mischievous trolls called the Yule Lads. If the child has been good, they'll find sweets in their shoe, but if they've been bad, the Yule Lads will leave them a rotten potato. 9. We all love to sing along to Jingle Bells, but have you ever noticed that the song doesn't have the word Christmas in it? Or Jesus or Santa Claus? That's because it wasn't originally a Christmas song. In fact, the Jolly Anthem was written in 1850, entitled One Horse Open Sleigh, for the American holiday, Thanksgiving. 10. Now, imagine if there was no Christmas. Does it feel quite strange? Sad, perhaps? Well, believe it or not, in 1644 Christmas celebrations were made illegal in England, and soon after, in the English colonies in America, too. At that time, members of the government felt that the religious meaning of Christmas had been forgotten, and so banned the holiday festivities. Some people still celebrated in secret, however, until Christmas was once again legal, almost 20 years later. 11. Jingle Bells was the first song played in space. On December 16, 1965, the classic Christmas song was broadcast during NASA's Gemini 6A spaceflight, according to Guinness World Records. 12. Santa Claus is based on Saint Nicholas of Myra. The history of Santa Claus dates all the way back to the 3rd century, to a Turkish monk named Saint Nicholas who was famous for helping the poor and sick. Dutch immigrants eventually brought the story of the man they called Sinterklaas to New York, where his legend continued. 13. Why does Santa live in the North Pole? The famous political cartoonist Thomas Nast established Santa's official residence as the North Pole in several illustrations in the 1800s, according to NPR. At the time, there had recently been a series of expeditions to the Arctic, and the North Pole was thought of as a mythical, magical place. 14. Which fairy tale helped inspire gingerbread houses? Although gingerbread houses date back to the 1600s, the tradition became widespread in Germany after the story of Hansel and Gretel was published in 1812. 15. The NORAD Santa tracker began with a wrong number call. Every Christmas Eve, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, adjusts its satellites to track Santa on his journey around the world. The famous holiday tradition all started in the 1950s when a young child accidentally called a NORAD command center looking for jolly old Saint Nick. 16. Coca-Cola played a big role in shaping the image of Santa. In 1931, Coca-Cola commissioned the artist Haddon Sundblom to paint Santa Claus for the company's Christmas ads. Inspired by the 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, the artist created the warm, jolly character we all know today, complete with rosy cheeks, a white beard, and twinkling eyes. 17. Why do we leave milk and cookies for Santa? In America, the tradition of leaving cookies and milk for Santa Claus on Christmas Eve took root during the Great Depression, when parents encouraged children to keep their charitable spirit alive in the face of financial hardship. 18. Historical Christmas facts. 1066, King William I of England was crowned on Christmas Day. 1377, during a Christmas feast hosted by King Richard II of England in 1377, 300 sheep and 28 oxen were consumed. 1640, Scotland abolished the observance of Christmas, until 1958 when it became a legal holiday. Franklin Pierce, 1853 to 1857, is believed to have been the first president to put a Christmas tree in the White House. Christmas trees were banned by President Teddy Roosevelt in the White House in 1901 because the president was concerned about the environmental effects, but his sons decorated a small tree cut on the White House grounds and hid it in a closet until Christmas morning. 1915, Hallmark introduced their first Christmas cards. Boston, Massachusetts receives a tree from Nova Scotia, Canada because of the support given to the city of Halifax in 1917 when they experienced an explosion and fire disaster. The people of London receive a tree for Trafalgar Square from the people of Oslo, Norway every year to thank them for their assistance during World War II. During World War II, the Bicycle Playing Card Company made decks of cards and gave them to the prisoners of war in Germany, with hidden escape routes revealed when the cards were soaked in water as Christmas presents. 1962, the United States issued the first Christmas postage stamp. 19. Religious Christmas facts. Many people abbreviate Christmas, Christmas, which is actually based upon X being the first letter of Jesus Christ's name in Greek. First recorded in 1038, Old English provided the word Christmas from Christ's Mess, which means, Christ, Massachusetts. A Christmas wreath with holly represents the blood Jesus shed, the red berries, and the crown of thorns. The Bible indicates a plurality of wise men, but it is tradition that says there were three, probably as a result of three gifts being given: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The three traditional colors used for most Christmas decorations have religious significance. Red if for the blood of Jesus Christ, green symbolizes his resurrection, and gold his status as the King of Kings. Christmas is not a biblical holy day as it is not mentioned in the Bible. In fact, many of the symbols and customs we associate with Christmas began with winter solstice rituals and pagan festivals. The account of Jesus' birth, life, death, and resurrection, what is often referred to as the Christmas story, appears in the New Testament Gospels of Matthew and Mark. The Latin word natalis, which means day of birth, is the origin of the word Noel.